For over a year now, this bush has been basically my second home. It has been my escape from the hardships of reality. My life has been pretty much down here. And this has been a project I have been overly enthusiastic of. But it has gotten quite overgrown and quite messy down here over that time and is in need of a massive cleanup. And that is exactly what I'm doing today. To put things lightly, a lot of the pathways, they need to be completely redone because they've just been covered in grass. Tents need to be readjusted, new ropes need to be put in to better stabilize them, as just build up from water, branches, falling, other stuff has caused them to stretch and weaken. My pond area needs a complete rehaul down that way. Certain interiors of tents still need work, and this whole area just needs a bit of a glow up. My garden tent here, it needs quite a lot of work, way better stabilization, and actual plants would be nice. The side tent here, it needs a big cleanup. The main tent here needs an even bigger cleanup. It's just full of rubbish at this point. In fact, the entire bush just needs a massive cleanup. I've gotten a bit lazy, I'll admit. I haven't been cleaning up after myself. There's junk everywhere. That's going to change today. Now, if you don't know, I've been working towards one final big build project to finish off my bush project, and today I'm going to be completing everything I need to be up to that stage. Now, I feel like the best place to start today, just to get into the working mood, is to open up a pathway between the gardens here and the paranormal tent. So that's what I'm going to do now. Whether I put rocks outlining the path all the way, I'm not too sure, as I don't really have any more reliable sources of rocks down here, as the project here I did a while back kind of used them all up. So I don't think that's going to be an option, but I think I can still clear out the grass here and make just a nice flat dirt pathway. So that's what I'm going to do now. So the job began as I got my shovel and started to clear out a dirt pathway. But some of the plants were being a bit stubborn and were proving to be a bit of an issue, so I had to make a quick pit stop to go get my axe and my other smaller shovel so I could hack out the deep roots and clear out a nice flat dirt surface, easier for me to dig up with my smaller shovel. I decided that I would rather use the smaller shovel over the longer one, as it was just easier to put more pressure into the dirt to clear out any of the excess weeds or grass that were forming, and I used my axe to get out any of the deeper roots along the way. Alright, we got ourselves a lovely little path here. Look at that, forming along nicely into a mess. Now this area does need to be cleared out, but to be honest, I'm not going to clear it out just yet, because I don't know what I want to do with the interior, so I'm going to save it for a bit later in the video when I've got a better idea of what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to work on a different thing now. This tent. Seriously, I can't tell you the amount of times this pole just slips because it's not dug into the ground properly. I don't know, I guess I was just lazy when I was making this and I just didn't quite do it right. The back half here, it's not any better. This is a really old gazebo tarp that it's the best I could get my hands on. So it's not the greatest, but the best I can do is dig this pole properly into the ground. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. Digging a hole into the soil to stick this pole into. Here I am just digging a nice little hole where this log used to be. Nice and deep. And now it's ready to put the pole in. Here we go. That should hold it nicely. So now I've just got to fill it in with dirt. Then I have to pat it down once I'm done, just to make sure the soil isn't moving around too much. Alright, now that that pole is dug into the ground, I shouldn't have issues with it just randomly slipping anymore, but the back half does still need some work. It needs to be properly rooted into the ground. Usually you use pegs or something for this. I don't have any, so I'm gonna just maybe see if I can find any rocks anywhere, just to weigh it down. I'm hoping I can find something. Now, the best place to go to look for anything to weigh something down with rocks would be down by the creek side, so that's where I'm going to go. I'm already half an hour into this and I'm sweating all over and I've barely started. This is easily a multi-day project I'm looking at right here. Maybe a month. I don't know how long this video is going to take me. Alright, this is where I've got to go. Seems the fence is all weighed down from the floods, so I should be able to get in and take me, hopefully, a rock. It is quite gross in here from all the rain and flooding. Potentially, this could do quite nicely. Something tells me it ain't the best support. I think I've just unearthed an ant nest though, because it has that strong ant smell coming out of that now, because I just gave it a little nudge. I'm sure this place is doing just fine. Just get some plants in here later. We should be looking all good. Currently, one of the worst problems in the world right now is the amount of rubbish just in the environment everywhere. I guess you could say I'm no better down here, but today, every piece of junk, it's gotta go now. The little bush bin I've got down here is currently full, so I'm gonna have to take it up to the house, dump it into the main bins, bring it back down, put stuff back in. It's just a big back and forth process, which I guess is why I've been putting it off. I've been a bit lazy lately, I guess. But yeah, every piece of rubbish down here today, it's gotta go. Because yeah, having this rubbish in the environment, it's not good. Luckily, it hasn't blown away or gone anywhere, it's just kind of stayed put. Because the strong winds don't really affect the ground level here too much. There is also some stuff from the floods that also need to be cleaned up that did get washed away. There is a bit of work there to be done, but it's what you got to do. You got to keep your environment and your nature clean from the rubbish. This just won't do. So yeah, gonna do a big cleanup right now, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do something, maybe a bigger bin down here, so I can fit more stuff in before I have to take it up. Or just getting better at taking it up would probably be a good start. But here it is, and I'm going to take it up now. So that's what I'm going to do. Is I just got to unbutton it with this, and I'll just carry this on up to the house, and then all of this stuff out here and in there is going to be cleaned out. The bin has been emptied, so it means it's time to start cleaning more. I got to work with my bag, picking up all the pieces of these little foam chunks, I believe them to be, that washed up from the floods that are just being crushed and mushed into the soil everywhere. There's lots of little finicky bits that I had to try pick up, and it was quite a pain to pick them out, but after all, this was my mess, and it was my duty to clean it. I decided to go get the shovel to dig some out of the soil a bit, and just to clear up a lot of the chunks, so I could get it into the bag a bit quicker and then pick up the smaller bits that I left behind. This earth and this land, it is our duty to keep it clean. We put the rubbish here, so it's our duty to pick it up and remove it. Laziness does sometimes befall us, and I guess we just don't think. But it is our duty to come to terms with that and to put in the effort to keep our environment and our world clean. We don't have another world. This is our earth. We have to keep it clean. We have to protect it at all costs. The animals and the wildlife here, they kind of depend on us to keep it clean. This is our earth. This is our planet. We can't just stand around and watch the ever-growing amount of rubbish grow and grow and grow to the point there's nothing we can do. It's already a major problem, but we have a chance to fix that. Also, I had to get a much bigger bag for this than the original bin I was using, because there was a lot of rubbish. And I started making my way towards the inside of the main tent here to clean everything up and just kind of reorganize things a bit better, as things had gotten a bit disorganized and messy, and I like a kind of organized chaos to feel the most comfortable in my day-to-day life. So that's exactly what I did and went around doing, just kind of moving things around and getting the floor nice and clean, and just overall make the place feel a lot more homely and cozy and just less full of random junk. Alright, quite the cleanup has just gone down. This area here and all out here overall is looking a lot cleaner now. So that does mean it's on to the next part of today after I pick a giant rubbish bag up. And that is... it's pathway time. I need to get this place looking a lot neater. I've been dreading this for a while. Let's just get it done. So I got my shovel, and I started clearing out the Aussie garden area to try get it into a much more cleaner looking state. Although I was not feeling too well, I've been quite ill recently, so this was quite a physically demanding task for me, and I did start to feel rather lightheaded, which meant I had to take a break. This is quite draining energy work I'm doing right now. Yeah, it's not too good because I've been ill as of recently, and I'm still quite ill. And I usually do okay, but I'm already low on energy, and because I've been ill, I haven't had that energy getting used, so I haven't really been out and about using much energy, which means I've kind of, I guess, lost stamina. So this is quite difficult for me at the moment, because I'm quite flimsy in the arms. They're a bit floppy at the moment. They don't have much muscle mass in them, so yeah, slowly trying to build that back up from being sick. But man, is it a enduring task of doing so, especially when I am still quite a bit ill. Ooh, I'm sweating already when I really shouldn't be. Just off camera, I just kind of went through and gave it just a bit of a neaten up. I've got to say, it's catching my approval now. However, there is still work through here that needs to be done, which is going to be difficult. So I think I'm just going to kind of clear out the seating area a bit, just to kind of get my breath back. So work began as I grabbed my axe and began hacking away at the bushes that were in front of the seating area, so that I could then get to work with setting out the path, where I got my shovel, started clearing out a small area, reducing it to dirt, connecting it up to the other garden. Alright, I've got a bit more of the path starting to form now. You can see here, it still does need to be linked up to then go through there. Now when I do the path through here now, I'm not going to completely reduce it just to dirt. I just want to kind of flatten out the terrain a bit more, just so it's a bit more easy to walk through, and just make parts like this where there's fallen branches, and just where there's branches in the way, just make it that bit easier. There's a bit of overgrowth down there that needs to be sorted out, but I'm not going to be completely flattening the terrain here. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just clearing it out just so it's easier for me to walk through, and a natural dirt path kind of just forms over time. However, now it was time to get into smoothing out the path, making it a bit clearer by getting rid of some of the logs in the way and some of the branches that lay covering it, so that it was just easier to walk through. Alright, the path along here, it's cleared out. So now it's time to turn the focus on over here. Where this little part here, it just needs a bit of sprucing up, bit of cleaning up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to kind of move some of these logs out of the way and clear these out, just so it's just you're not stepping over anything as you come through here. And I reckon that should be quite nice. So work began trying to clear out the logs and other plants that were blocking the way through. I had to get the axe to try smash it out of the way, but it was proving to be quite a tough log, but it wasn't long before my power with the axe burst through it. Bam! I then moved ahead with clearing out the plants in the area that were also blocking the way through by using the axe to hack and cut right through. And that's that. But there's still some work to be done over by the seating area. The seat itself needs to be dug into the ground, and I also need to just kind of make it look a bit nicer. There's not too much I can really do, it's just kind of a matter of waiting for the grass to grow over it over time. Some of the moss is already starting to spread. Corn, pumpkins and kale, they're growing real nice. But yeah, that seating, it needs some improving. So I'm going to go get my shovel, I'm going to go get that dug in. Alright, let us get this thing in. I got to work by digging a little hole to put one corner of the chair's legs in. Once it was in, I decided it was probably easier just to try smash it into the mud, which resulted in me falling over like a monkey. But I kept trying to push it down, and slowly the chair sank through into the mud. Now, since this layer of mud was on top of the actual grass, as it was just the mud dug out from the hole, I had to just push it through enough till it hit a solid surface, and then it was wedged in enough that it'd move a bit, but it wasn't going to break through unless you literally kicked it out of the ground. That's what I think of you, chair scum! Anyways, with those intrusive chair-kicking thoughts out of my mind, the chair was in and complete. This area was a success. I've got to say, this ain't too bad. Well, as long as you don't lean backwards, that is, anyway. But that's a problem for future me. However, one thought went through my head as I sat there. This project that I'd spent a lot of my life doing now, it was almost complete. How's a weird thing to think of that the next episode, I would be beginning my final project here. Now, I know it may not really seem like it, but a lot of work has actually been accomplished so far. But there's still quite a bit to go, and just to give you an idea of what we still got left to do, let's do a quick little update on what's left to do. Side room, bush plant cleaning, lean-to cleaning, bush garden cleaning, tire cleaning, paranormal tent interior and cleanup, garden tent planning, which we are actually going to be doing right now. And so I began getting the pot ready, shovel ready, and began hacking away into the deep, deep earth so I could get some soil for my pots to grow some healthy plants. Alright, today I'm planting broccoli apparently. I just picked a random seed and figured I'd find out what it was when I got down here to plant it. Apparently I'm planting broccoli. So let's see how that goes. Get these seeds out. They are quite small seeds. Let's see if I can get some out without losing them. Alright, I got some. Just gonna dig a little hole in this pot. Dump them in. Alright, I'll just repeat the same process for the other two. And indeed repeat that process I did as I went around to the other two plant pots and filled them with the broccoli. Alright, broccoli is planted. All these pots have now got something growing in them. It's time to get on to the next thing. Now this next thing might seem like a very out of nowhere thing, because I forgot to say I was doing it. Basically, the tent needs another rope through the middle so that it can be just given a bit more support. I'm going to tie two ends of the rope to the tree, put it through the middle, and hopefully it holds it up. And so I went over and started gathering up everything I would need to get this project done, and started hammering the first lot of the rope to the tree, winding it around, wrapping it through the middle and through the second side of the tent to wrap around the other tree. Alright, so I've tightened it up. I'm gonna put a nail up here. Lodge it around into the tree. That shouldn't be budging anywhere. We take a look at the tent now. A lot more support is coming in through that middle half, so hopefully it shouldn't be stretching or slipping anymore. The rope comes around here. I figure I can also hang stuff off here if I need to. It's also latched onto here, which I'm going to give a bit of an extra hammer in for support. Comes around this tree here, which then also comes through here, which holds up this section here, hopefully reducing water buildup. I need to get rid of that. That's been there too long. Which then comes up through the middle here, over through there. Then coming around here, it's wedged on here, nice and tight. That's holding things up nicely. Alright, so as for today, I'm pretty much done. Well, not done, but day's over pretty much. I also just say, link in the description. I have a Discord server open now if you want to chat with me at all, maybe. I pop in from time to time, and I also just have announcements on there when I upload my videos, and just other fun things if you want to communicate with me a bit more. So I'd recommend checking that out. And I was just kind of chilling here, you know, in the bush tent, and just the temperature was just like average and nice, and then it just went freezing, just out of nowhere. It just dropped, and now it's freezing out here. I did not see that coming, but it is now really, really cold. That was a genuine shiver right there. That just went down my spine. Genuine shiver. Anyways, today's work is over, but the work continues into the next day. So let's get to it. And get to it I did, as I began just clearing out the front area at the front of the bush tent, just to make it look a little bit neater and smoother. I must say I am quite happy with how it turned out. Next up on my little to-do list here, the pond plant. It's on a bit of a lean. It needs to be more up here. A little bit more like that. I just got to try get it to support into the ground a little bit more. But if I can keep it up at this angle, that'll be good. At the base of the pond plant, I used this rock to hold it up. I dug a little hole so the rock was a little bit more supported, so hopefully it wouldn't slip and slide unless there was a major flood. But let's hope there's not another one of those anytime soon. I patted the rock into the dirt, and all was now hopefully well. Alright, so the pond plant is up nicely, but we got some more stuff that needs doing. Over here in the old garden, as you can see here, I've got a little hole. Now, I don't really use this garden anymore. I've got a lovely new pond over there where the pagoda is. We've got some nice lights, seating area, and it's growing pumpkins and other weird and wonderful things. And then, hopefully in a few months, it looks like a green paradise. Now, the old garden here is quite overgrown, covered in vines and all of that. I don't want to change that. I like that. But what I will do is I think this is a good potential for a new dirt mine. Basically, this can now just become an area where I come over to dig up dirt, to plant my other stuff, and just to use in other projects. So I think this is now the perfect area for that. As you can see, I've already kind of started doing so. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to kind of just mark this place with this, and going to put this into the ground. I'm just going to kind of mark this as my little dirt mine area, so let's get into it. And so I got the resources I needed in line, the log and the shovel, and I got to work digging the hole to put the pole in. Got my boot ready to stomp onto the shovel so we could get digging this hole nice and deep to stabilize it. Put a little pile of dirt next to the side of it so that I could put it back into the hole, put the pole in the hole, filled the hole with the dirt, and then soon this was looking good and neat, and this pole wasn't moving anywhere. Alright, our little marker here for the dirt mine is in. And this little bamboo shoot kind of fell out over here. I'm going to kind of use it to mark my dead chili plant right here. There we go. Don't want to forget my good old chili plant. Now, of course, the work must continue. But I think it's time we take ourselves a little break. We have been quite busy. And sometimes it's important to just stop and admire the nature. It's real beautiful down here. So I think what I'm going to do now is kind of just take a quick step back from all the work. I'm going to just admire the bush, the smells, the sounds, the scenery. Just going to lay back, relax, and take it all in. And you guys are coming along for the journey. Sometimes I think today's generation and people don't get out in nature enough as they should be. It's truly an art of peace. It's calming, it's relaxing, it eases the mind. Seeing the rich orange colours, the different greens, all the different plant varieties, the sound of the wildlife, the birds, the sound of the soft wind in your ears, the fresh smell of the plants, the animals, just the general bush smell. Just getting out in nature and putting your feet and hands in the dirt, growing some plants, maybe building a little something. It is truly beautiful, looking up and seeing the great blue sky, or even just sitting under a tent, hearing the pitter-patter of the rain. Like, who doesn't love the smell of rain in a storm? Going outside is probably one of the best things you can do, and I don't think people do it enough. But it is truly an amazing and a real surreal experience. This place, it's a true marvel, it is. It's weird to think that next episode is the beginning of my last major project down here. I might make a few small little things here and there after that, but nothing major. Probably no new tents at all. It's weird that this project that's been such a big part of my life is about to come to an end. It's weird to think about. But I am quite ready for some new things. I'm ready for some new adventures, some new projects, and just other things in the future. I am quite ready. I've been working on this project for quite a bit now, and I'll be honest, as fun as it's been, I feel like I'm ready to kind of move on from it, or I guess move on into the next stages of it. With the project complete, I can't wait to see how the bush kind of reclaims this area for its own. I've kind of claimed it as mine now. Once I'm done here, I'm going to still do some maintenance stuff, just so the whole place doesn't collapse. But for the most part, I'm going to let the bush kind of take this area back. And we're going to see how nature kind of comes in with what I've built down here. I think that'll be a really exciting next chapter for this place. But that is still at least an episode or two away after this one. Well, very close, very close. Very close indeed. But it is time to, before we head back to work, see an old friend who hasn't really checked out the bush tent in a while. And no, it's not Arrow, but he should be back eventually at one point. No, this is another friend I'm talking about. He's back! After who knows how many episodes. Loki, what are you doing? Yeah, he's been a lot's changed since you've last been here, eh? It has been a while. He's been hungry. He's nibbling on that grass. He's been wanting that grass for a while. Perhaps he would like to meet Larry. Do you want to meet Larry, buddy? Here's Larry. No? Sorry, Larry. The cat rejects you. He's going on his own adventures. Where are you going? Where are you going on a little adventure? Going somewhere. Where the cat going? Where'd the cat going? Oh, got a bit of an interesting view up his bum there. Isn't that nice? There's an interesting bird noise coming from up in the trees. It's quite nice to listen to. Surprised he hasn't tried to attack it. Nah, he's more interested in the grass. Hey, you stay away from my garden tent. The plants aren't for you in there. Well, while you do that, I've just realised I forgot to put this away when I was doing my cleanup, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Hey, buddy. Sorry, just doing some work. You do you. Don't run away. Just some unedited working here. Hey, he's going to my garden tent. Hey, buddy, what are you doing in there? I know, it's a cool tent and all, but don't eat my stuff. Please. Hello. You've walked into a cobweb, buddy. You might wanna... Whoop. Oh, now I've got the spider on me. Having fun there, buddy? Also, if you're wondering, some of these plants are actually starting to grow. Look at that. Well, I think it's time we say our goodbyes to Loki here. Will he be back down here in the bush again? I don't know. Well, is this his last visit? I don't know. But I just thought, hey, it'd be cool to catch up with Loki and show him around again. But it's time to take him back and let these plants grow in peace. But I hope you guys enjoyed seeing Loki again down here in the bush. But you know what? It's time to do some work. AKA, I've got to do the paranormal tent interior and the side tent interior over there. So let's get into that now. Bye-bye, Loki. Everyone say goodbyes to Loki. He's gone back to the house. However, as much as I wanted to get to work on these interiors, there was a quick little side detour that I had to do that I'd been meaning to do for a while. So I don't know how I've managed to keep this up on my roof since that little party episode, or episodes, but I still have a surfboard on my roof, and I won't do. It's leaving. I don't want it no more. Just realised we were recording in 30 frames, isn't that nice? Oh, this guy don't look too good. Oh yeah, beautiful partner isn't here. No, those feet just belong to no one. Now how am I actually getting that off of this roof? You're not there. You don't have a head, doesn't count. Sometimes the best thing to do in a situation like this is to just whack the roof. Did it work?
Yeah, that worked, didn't it? Yeah,
I'm sure it worked just fine. I can reach it now, so it actually did work. Now what do I actually do with it? Darling, what do I do with this? What do you mean eat it? I don't want to eat it. What do you mean you'll eat it? I'm a partner's scary sometimes. Sometimes I want to eat foam surfboard. You didn't hear anything. Run. After that interesting turn of events, it was time to get on to working in the side room. I didn't have a huge plan for this interior, but there was a few small things that did need to be adjusted. Right, as for the interior of it here, I think there's a whole much going on. Got our, little table we did up. We've got our storage container, but that isn't going to be here too much longer actually. Probably next episode we're going to be moving that out of here, so we're going to have a lot more space. Can't really say too much on that, because that spoils the final project for down here. So yeah, we're not going to dwell on that, but for the time being, this stuff is just going to go in here. Now I'm going to hope there's no snakes in here when I open this, because that is a bit of a worry. I don't think there's any way they can get in, but you never know. I think we're good. Oh, wait. You can tell it hasn't been opened in a while, because the air is horrible. What I am going to do, I'm going to get these chairs out, I'm going to set them up under here. These are going to be, I guess, just a little seating area. I'm only going to have 2. There's some others in here that I'm going to keep just for set up when I guess I've got people over if I need it. Oh, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set these up in here. Actually, I'm not going to put that one there because that's where the water falls down when it gets on the roof. I'm going to have to figure out a better way to get rid of that. Potentially. It doesn't really bother me. I just don't want stuff getting ruined. Let's see what happens. Alright, well this is actually quite cozy, I've got to say. Do quite like this. Got a lovely table right here. Some new little camping chairs. I've got to say, I much prefer this as just a little sit-down area over the dining area. I much prefer the new dining area. And I love how this is just like a little camp and chill area down here in the bush. It is real relaxing, and that I like. It gives me very strong camping vibes in here. And if you don't know me, I love camping. So this is a real solid, nice little room. But it is getting quite dark down here, and there's still a few small little things I want to do before I'm done down here. So I'm going to turn on the bush lights down here, and we're going to get this place nice, well lit up for night time. It is a bit chilly though, because we are heading into winter. I think we're a month away, potentially. maybe a month. I think it's a month. So yeah, it is getting quite cold down here, and it does get darker a lot quicker. So, well, usually when I'm filming in the summer, it's still bright and sunny right now. But because we're getting into the winter, it's getting darker a lot quicker. So while I usually be filming in the bright sun right now, well, it's pretty much dark, and it's getting cold. But that's not to bother. Still got some work to do, and just got to get it done, because I want to get this project done so I can get on to the next episode, because I'm excited. So let's get into it. However, before getting into the project, it was time to turn on the lights on around the camp, as the sun had set and the darkness was creeping in. I love these lights down here. I'm not going to shut up about it. They're beautiful. Well, I gotta say, it's probably quite the fitting time. I know you guys can barely see me, but it's probably quite the fitting time to do this paranormal tent interior. Ta-da! Beautiful. Got to work gathering up the materials I need to get to work on the paranormal tent interior, getting some items out of the chest, and then carrying it over to the paranormal tent. Once I had arrived at the paranormal tent, I gathered a little pile out front where I dumped everything I need to get to work. Alright. Now we got some ferns in here. I gotta go. Won't do. Yeah, it's a little crowded in here. Right, what we got here? A little decoration. Just thinking. Potentially, I thought it'd be cool just to hang on a tree. So what's it gonna do? I'm gonna get some hammer, some nails, I'm gonna nail this beauty in. Right, where was it? Here it is. Next up here, I got this power line thing I got from episode 96 when I went to the Canada lands. Yeah. I figured, instead of being by the bush plant, this would make a great decoration for the paranormal tent here. I reckon this here, right up the back, is gonna look great. I'm gonna get that in now. Yeah, quite like that. With this interior done now too, I was quite happy with how it had turned out. The side tent and the paranormal tent were complete, and I gotta love the spooky rustic vibes that this tent gives off in the dark. Alright, currently exiting the bush. Too dark for these working conditions, and we're blinding people. But that's today's work done, but not an episode's work done, as we still have some more work to continue on with. It is quite cold out right now, though. Hold on, let me get across the bridge. Oh, I'm gonna fall into the creek.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, we're alive. But yes, this is the end of today. And so this project shall continue on. This is actually, I've been filming this for 2 weeks now, this video, because I can only film in very select time, so it's kind of been very on and off, but you know, we're slowly getting there with projects and work that's being done. Anyways, beautiful partner's going now, so onwards to do things. Not quite, we're not doing potatoes. We're going to be making garden things. Okay, alright, cool. Let's do work. Well, I'm doing work. And that actually marks the end of this episode. Now, no, this is a bit of a weird ending. Weren't we just going to do more work? Well, yeah, we were. This video actually was cut short due to some technical difficulties that's made getting this video out a bit of a nightmare, so I've decided to end things here, and I just want to get this video out because it's been a nightmare to get it out. So that's exactly what's happening here. I'll be finishing off everything that wasn't finished in this episode in the next episode, so do be sure to look forward to that. I'll also go through in the next episode what exactly happened regarding the technical difficulties, and I'll also have a podcast up soon. But thanks for watching, and I'll see yous then.